Good evening. Happy Friday. Last Friday of June, if you can believe it. Hello, hello. Hi, Karen. How are you this evening? A little cooler this week than it was last week. I'm going to fix my one camera here. Hope everyone had a good week. I'm not sorry to say I'm ready for June to be over because I am ready for summer to keep moving. Hi, Bonnie from South Carolina. How are you? I should turn this little fan on right here. I might do that quick. I don't know if it'll be too loud. You guys will have to tell me. I've got this little fan that plugs into my phone that blows right on the face. It might be too loud. So, hi, Brandon. Hi, Penny. Good. I'm glad you're good, Karen. All right. So I am using some of the Mermaid Release. I don't really have a bundle or anything. I did put my collection in the description. I don't know if it was down below. It's just a few items tonight, but we can play with some stuff if we run out of time. But I wanted to start with the mermaid cards. And I have all my little mermaids, my mermaid stuff for the most part in this box. I'm so far behind. I haven't had a chance to play with a lot of it yet. That's my goal tomorrow. So these are the card. Oops, let me switch my camera. There we go. These are the cards. They're mermaid, like card panels. They are foilable. We're going to, I don't know if we're going to do, we might do more than one card with these tonight, but there is one more, but I already have it cut out. I believe you get two of each. And but they're kind of fun to play with. I mean, they got these beautiful little mermaids on them. Let me bring them up closer. They're just fun. So I did fussy cut one out ahead of time, so you didn't have to sit there and watch me. I cut out one of the white ones, and we're going to kind of play with her tonight. She's going to be the focal point of our card, our first card anyway. So I'm going to put those off to the side for a minute. And so what I'm going to do is I created a slimline card by taking a piece of perfect blend paper. I've already cut it down a little bit, but what I did is took a piece of perfect blend paper and I cut it down to 3 1/4. I'm just going to do another one by 8 1/2. And then I just kind of eyeballed it and took a little bit off. Hi, Susan. I just eyeballed it and took a little bit off the bottom. Oops, I know I'm off camera here a little bit. I'm a little closer tonight. I just literally just went up, kind of moved it over just a little bit and just sliced a little bit off. And then because I didn't want to have to move this on camera, what I did is I used an embossing folder. Let me grab it here. I unfortunately was not paying attention last night, and my sandwich was a little too tight on my spellbinders. So I have this spellbinders embossing folder. This is a 9x6 embossing folder. It is available in the store. It's called Arches and Dots. So you can kind of see that pattern on there. It's fun. And I thought it would be fun because I really wanted this girl to be the star of our show. So I took that embossing folder and I ran it through. I actually did it a couple times because I don't have the long plates. And so I had some spots that weren't, like I didn't run it through and I didn't run it through a second time. So it had flat spots. So I had to cut it down a little bit. But I just ran it through. And it's just on some perfect blend paper. You could do this on some Not Your Mamas as well. You probably get a little deeper impression. I just happened to grab this. What I'm going to do is I have one of these Ranger daubers, and I love the foam daubers. I love the dome ones. I think they're fun. I love them for ink blending, but instead of ink blending tonight, what we're going to do is we're going to use some chroma glaze. And I grabbed purple because her hair is purple. And of course, purple is my favorite color. You could use any of our glazes like this. And all I'm going to do is take it and I'm going to open it up. And I'm sure you may have seen this before, but we're just going to add a little bit of fun. Of course, I can't get my fingernails on it. I broke a fingernail last night. So we're just going to take some. You could take a palette knife. Hi, Amanda from Salem. And you could put some on there, or you can just put it on, or you could dip it straight in. It's up to you. what you want to do, I'm going to wipe that off though quick. I have a little bit of a wet paper towel here. And we're just going to dab it on. And I'll show you what it kind of looks like. Thinking I gotta, and then all I'm gonna do is just rub it on. And I'm not pushing, I'm just rubbing it on. And it should just hit those highlighted spots. So that's why I didn't want, you're watching on the TV, ooh, so I'm on the big screen. So I'm just gonna dip it in. I dab it off because I don't want it to be gloppy. I guess technical term there. And I'm just rubbing it on. And see that when I pushed it was a little gloppy. So I'll show you why I meant, because it was gloppy, it didn't do exactly what I wanted to, but it's going to be fine because it's in the middle. And I'm just going to rub it on, and that's it. And then I just take a baby wipe and just rub it and kind of clean it off. You could use just some water, some squeaky clean a little bit. I just kind of rub it so that it's just, I don't care about the color. I just don't really want any of the stickiness there. Okay. So then it's just kind of clean. But like I said, when I dabbed it, it was just kind of like that. And then I just rubbed it on. I have one more here. So this is the one that I did first. And you'll see that I didn't rub so my embossing folder isn't perfect. So let's do that one more time. You could try, I have not tried this with glitter glaze, but I've done it more with these ones, the chroma glazes, the chroma opaques, the velveteen glazes more. So glitter glaze is a little bit, because of the glitter, it might not necessarily stick to just the high areas, but I don't know because I've never tried it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just rush that on, and it just adds just a nice little fun texture. And then I'm gonna, like I said, I'll show you what I meant by, hello, Jamie. Oh, yeah, it's not even so much that, is that I'm more afraid that I'm gonna like wiggle my table too much and make somebody kind of sick. Or I'm gonna break my machine because I'm trying to hurry, because I'm not paying attention to my sandwich. You know what I mean? I also did a little coloring afterwards because, it's fine. I'm not the fastest colorer, and I don't do it as often as I used to, and I didn't do anything fancy. So what I wanted to show you is, because I had some of that glob on there, I'm going to pull this up a little closer. You can see, like, right here, it's down in the crevices where it wasn't quite as thick. See, it just hit those highlights, and look at how fun that is. It just adds a little bit on this. Hi, Tia. So I have a couple of them done. I'm just going to set these aside to dry. There's not much on these, and it's hot here right now. So these would probably dry very quickly. However, through the magic of television, I have one that's already dry. Now this one is a little different. And I'm going to grab my little tray here. Give me a second. My little spray tray here. We do have these spray trays in the store, but I just like to stick them in there because then they don't stick to anything. This one is a little different because this was the pastel chroma glaze. So it's very, very light. What did I use on it? No, chroma glaze, Noreen. So what I did is I took a dauber, and I can show you again. Like I said, took a dauber, and I just went in and I daubed it down like this. And I'm just going to do this on a piece of plain paper for fun. This is some Not Your Mamas here. And I just wiped it like this, but it was on the embossed. Okay. And I showed that I wanted to daub it off a little bit on something and then do it, because then you don't get like the globbies. And then you can do it as thick as you want or as thin as you want. All right, and then I'm just going to wipe it off. You can use a little bit of water, a little bit of, now I can tell you, I didn't come up with this. I've seen other people do something kind of similar, not necessarily like this. I've seen them use their fingers and stuff, but I do know that in one of the SET classes a few years ago that I took, Simon Hurley was showing us how to do it with, he was using his lunar pastes with stamping. And I figured it would work kind of the same way using a sponge dauber. So, so this is what and I'm sorry, there's a little bit of shadow there. Trying to get my light. I don't want to, I'm going to blind you guys, but I need better lighting here. Try to give you without trying to blind you too much there. It's very light because this is the pastel color, where the one I used before is darker because this is just the regular old chroma glaze, not the pastel. Okay, so it's going to dry. And like I said, this is the globby section because I had too much on there where it's lighter. Okay, don't let that dry. So this is our base. And then I've got our little card, and it's just going to add just a little something. See? So we're going to add a little more purple though, okay? So what I want to do is I'm going to grab some aubergine cardstock, which is one of my favorite colors. Heather would work too, but I knew we had a little bit more. I knew there was more aubergine in place in stock, so I wanted to make sure I grabbed that, which I think the darker color is going to help with that dark color of her hair. And I'm going to cut this down to 3. Actually, this one's going to be 3 1/4 for sure, because I like that size for my slimline cards by 8.5, and so this is going to be too wide. So we're going to cut this down a little bit. We're going to cut this down to 3. I did cut it a little wider on purpose when I did it the first time, because I figured I could always cut it down. And then, so obviously I cut a few edges off of this. So I'm going to have to trim it down to probably 8. But instead of doing that right away, I'm going to glue it down and then I'm going to trim it. So because I have a small trimmer that only goes to 6 inches, it's easier for me to just, I mean, I knew I could do 1/2 inch. There's half an inch is like right here, but it's hard to do that little bit of a 1/4 inch with this trimmer. So I'm going to go ahead and add this first. So I'm just going to go ahead and add some adhesive to this. Who is signed up for, ooh, I don't know what's going on here with my tape. It's going backwards. Who signed up for Sunflower Soiree tomorrow? I am. I'm super excited. I can't wait. It's beautiful. I love the products. Classes will go live at noon Eastern tomorrow. I did confirm that tonight with Christopher. On the Brutus Monroe event page, you log into your account and go into your courses, and that's where you will see things there. That's about as much as I know right now. You are, Penny. I'm super excited. I'm going to get up early with Pup. It's going to be 90 again tomorrow, and we're going to go do some berry picking in the morning and then come home and hopefully get a few things done before class. So I just eyeballed it. Kate, that's awesome. I look forward to it. I'm so excited. So the stamp set is not available as of right now. I do believe there was 3 boxes left. Even though the class is tomorrow, you can watch it at any time. So I thought there was 3 left on Wednesday. I don't know if anybody else, if there are any left. I did not check that. But I did want to say the paper pad is available separately. So is the washi and the dual foil were an add-on. And then there's some stencils that were add-on that go with the stamp set. There are SVG files for the stamp set in the store. So if you wanted to do that, but look at this beautiful paper. I'm so excited to play with this. I was like, I got to make mermaid stuff, but I want to play with my sunflowers. That's awesome. Thanks, Ellen. Jamie, Karen, I'm excited you guys heard it. I think the aubergine kind of fits perfectly with it too. And I like the fact that I cut my card base down a little bit because this is going to overhang just enough. Now I wanted to show you, this isn't dry yet, but see how the difference, you can pop that up and there's a big difference. Now I'm going to go with the more subtle one for this one, and I'll make something fun with this one. But what I think would be fun is I'm going to pop this up on some foam tape. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that because that's going to give it a little lift and dimension. And I'm just going to go ahead and pop one big old piece right in the center. I don't know if I can get a second piece in there. I can just get it up top. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here, take my little scissors and cut it at an angle. So I will say you've got a few days left for the CYOE challenge in the hashtag CYOE challenge in the fan club group. You have till Monday. I'll probably draw on Tuesday just because there's a holiday coming. But it's rainbows. So if you are, making something using rainbow colors, using a rainbow, things like that, using a rainbow image, that is what it is. And you get 2 entries into win a random drawing for $25 store credits. Oh, Kate, exciting. That's okay. It's still in the box. Now, I did do a live class on Sunday, or a live video on Sunday, that showed how I use the Cricut with my SVGs for Brutus Monroe. And it is in on the Brutus Monroe, and it should be on the Christopher Allen page. But I did show how I did that, and I do some bulk stamping. And after that live, you guys, I literally sat down and watched a movie with my honey, and I stamped out all of them. So I have a ton of images ready to go. It is a handy. They have quite a few of them. That there's a couple in the store, and I knew that one was for sure because I had bought it from Brutus Monroe. I think there's 2. There might be 3. I'm kind of liking that size because I do like to do slimline cards. Obviously, mini slimlines are my favorite, but I think it's fun that you can then cut it off a little bit. Oh, Kate, that's awesome. That's awesome. I think you will enjoy it. Did you get a regular, a joy extra? Can I ask? Is it okay if I ask? And I'm not, like I said, an expert by any means. Oh, but I will do my best to answer a question if I need to. Ever on the fan club page, or you can go to my YouTube channel and make a comment on video, or vice versa. So. All right, I'm just taking this off, the backing paper off here, and glue that down. And I'm going to put it smack dab in the center because I don't want to do it up. I don't want to do it low. It almost looks like it's on a mirror. And I'm sorry, I got that little bit of sun right there. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in. And I just put that down like that. Let's get all this paper off because this little fan is going to start blowing it around. And then we're going to do some fun zhuzhing up. So what I did not put, oh, awesome, Kate. That's what I have too. Now I did not have this in the collection. So Penny, you're welcome to put it in, or I can do it later. I am going to grab some Shimmer Pearl Splash. I'm not even sure if it's in stock, but I have it. I'm going to use it. If it's not in stock, you could do the same thing with the Aqua Pearl, actually, Pigment Pearl. I can't say it. The Pearl Aqua Pigment. That is like a tongue twister. And I'll show you both just in case, because I can show you this, the Shimmer Splash. Sorry, I got to move my mouse, you guys. It's right in the middle of my screen. The Shimmer Splash Pearl is kind of like the same thing. I don't know if they're exactly the same thing, but they work the same kind of way. The thing that's nice about it is it does come in this little bottle with a brush already built in. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to paint some of these white cloud thingies here just to give them some sparkle and shimmer. Now, we could do the same effect by doing like pearl or magical shattered glass and have laminated them, but I don't want to shimmer in everything. So I'm going to go ahead and just shimmer this. I kind of didn't think about this one. I should have, because I would have put it in there in my little collection there. But the other thing that is not in my collection that we're going to do in the next card is the crab, the happy crab, which is the stamp of the month. Thank you, Penny. Because it is a subscription product right now. I mean, it's available, but they'll be switching over at the end of the week, at the end of the month. They kind of switch over, so then it will be available by itself. So if you want the Happy Crab, you can sign up. I think you can sign up for a one-time purchase or the subscription, but it's only $5. And it comes every month, and then you're guaranteed to have this little 2x2 stamp. And I will show you that. We're going to add that to our second card. We're going to make a little celebration card. And actually, I think I have the exact thing. I have somebody who's got something big kind of happening, and their life. And I think maybe that will be the card because it's going to be a celebration. And next weekend is 4th of July. So celebrate, and I'll have the card perfect for it. So I'm just going to paint on a little bit more. I don't care if it's perfect. All right, I'll hold this up to the camera so you can kind of, it'll be hard to see on camera, but my light will catch it just a little bit. Let's see if I can get it a little close. There, you can see it. See on those little clouds? So I added some shimmer to all the little white areas, which in person you can see. Later on, if I see some spots that I might have missed, I might go back and add a little bit more because I know there's a few spots that I didn't dip it in and grab enough of the stuff, and I can go in and I can kind of twist it in the light and see where I might have missed some spots if I want to add a little bit more. Now it will cover up any of the black lines. So if you don't want the black lines to cover, you kind of have to go edge carefully. But, and then you have to shake these because the shimmer will kind of go to the bottom. So you kind of have to shake it. I just don't like to do that on camera. And then for some added fun, I am going to grab, my favorite, Chroma Mist and Ornament Gold. I'm going to shake that off a little bit so you can see all the little stuff on the bottom. I'm just going to shake it off to the side. You could spin it. I don't have it sprayed. And because I'm not spritzing with it, I'm just going to go ahead and spray it right on my mat. And it's very shimmery. And then like the aqua pigments, like the pearl or the gilded, you could use the gilded the same way. I'm going to grab this and I'm going to paint her tail. Because you know what? She's a mermaid that needs a sparkly tail. And even though there's a little bit of a gloss on these cards, once it dries, it will be there. And then that kind of adds some extra little something to our card. Now, I did not think about what type of sentiment I was going to use with this. So we're just going to see what I have already pulled out and stamped from one of our other sets. And I'm going to kind of show you, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but it kind of, I'm going to try to get close. When I'm painting it in, it kind of pools a little bit because it's shimmery, but if you leave it and let it sit, it will eventually, just be kind of the liquid will evaporate and the shimmer will stay. So, and then of course we could make her hair shimmery too. So I think we'll add a little bit of shimmer to her hair just because I feel like mermaids need to have lots of shimmer. And then I'm going to just not touch it because touching it will wipe it off. But if I let it dry, which it won't take long to dry. Like I said, I've got a couple fans running in my room and it is warmer. We'll see that little bit of shimmer. And then you can go through and add shimmer anywhere you want. I'm just going to add just enough little shimmer to just have some fun to her. Thank you. Yes, and if a little known fact that if you are ever interested in something I use in my collection, it started this month. If you know the date that I used it, you can put the date in and it should, with numbers, and it should pull up something I used from that live. If I, because I do try to link them down below. Sometimes I forget to go back in if my days get crazy and I get away from it, but I try to go in and make sure I add everything, or at least a link to the collection or the main page. But you should be able to Google Candi's live anytime on the show or anytime on the store, and it will show you what I used in my most recent live. I change that each week now. So I'm going to grab some pearls. I think there's some violet ones or something, aren't there? Emerald green. I think they're these, but I'm not sure I want to use these because they got that. Let's use these. Add a little bit of this. Hi, Francie. How are you? Happy Friday. We do need a sentiment. I forgot. We got to do that. Let's grab. So like I said, I have all of my stuff stamped out. This was the premium stamp of the month. I don't think those are, I want the mermaid ones. So I'm going to grab them. I have them all ready to go here in these little thing. And I think, what does these ones say? Oh no! Did you just see what I did? look at what I just did. They're all over my lap. So I am not getting up till my live is over because I have gems all over my lap. I've never done that before. I have gems everywhere. You were just in time, Francie. You must have known I was going to poke your eyes. So we're going to clean those up. I'm going to grab this. Friendship like ours never sinks. Thanks for being my anchor. Okay, those work more with that stamp set. So I think we're going to do Be a Mermaid and a Sea of Fish, even though there's no other fish here. But I think that's what we're going to use. So I have to find those stamps. Where did I put them? I had them all ready to go and cut out. And of course, they're over here. Nope. Where's my sentence? Huh. I guess I'm not using that sentiment tonight. I know I have them. I just don't see where they went. Oh, come on. Oh, here. Nope. We'll use one out of this. This is from the big stamp set. But you felt it? Yeah. Let's see. I'm going to do Waving Hello. She's not waving, but we're going to do Waving Hello because I don't know where those other stamps went. So we'll use this one. So we're going to do Waving Hello. Let's glue that down. I think we're going to pop that up too. I can feel the gems. They're on my feet everywhere. So hopefully little pup will stay sleeping on his bed. And I don't think he can get under my desk right now. So he won't come over and inhale any gems. Fortunately, they're little tiny ones. So he won't, choke on them or anything. But, oh man. At least they're gems and not glitter. Other than the fact that glitter can be. I'm going to stick it right over the edge of, I'm going to do it right here. Waving Hello. And then let's get these gems picked up before I knock them on the floor. All right. If you got your goggles ready, Francie, I'm coming for you. And grab some liquid glue. I don't know which one's going to work tonight. And I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to put a few right here. Let's see, is my glue going to work tonight? Yep. I will tell you that my glue press, I have not used it now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I haven't used it in almost a week, and it's not clogged or anything. So if you're finding that it's clogging, I would say part of it must be, first of all, depending on the temperature in the room that you're in. And then, because I know in the winter it clogged a little bit for me because we sometimes use wood heat and it gets very dry. So if I'm not going to use it for a while, I need to probably cover it. And then make sure that it's touching the silicone base. And I've had no issues with it clogging. So I know I did some of this off screen, but I just wanted to show you quick and easy. Let's get these ones picked up here before I send them all over the place. I've never dropped an entire thing of gems before. I don't even know if I've dropped sequins before. And of course, it have to happen during a live. All right, that's most of them, except the ones on my lap and on the floor. All right, there we go, you guys. We got our first card done. And then I don't know if you can see that shimmer there. You can kind of see the shimmer. And then we've got that fun chroma glaze background. Like I said, this is a very thin, it's very hard to see this one on camera. Try to get up as close as possible. You can see that light purple with that pastel chroma glaze. Okay, our next card is going to use the stamp of the month, which is the Happy Crab. And then if you did Stamp Club Plus, you got some extra things this month. You had a piece of acetate, and you got a dual foil, this foil, the black foilable, and some washi tape. I think there might have been one more piece, but I'm not going to use this tonight. I'm just going to use the stamp. And we're going to do, this is a clause for celebration. So I've got that stamped out. I've already got my crab already cut and colored. You've dropped them twice. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm trying to, like, I have a dress on, thank goodness, instead of pants. So I'm trying to, but they're like falling in my pocket now. I'm trying to get them to come to the center of my skirt so that I can collect them all. Yeah, there's like 3 in my pocket. Isn't that funny? Um, and I'm so afraid I'm gonna forget and stand up, and you guys, and they're gonna be everywhere. So if you don't mind, I might try to see if I can grab them quick. Let's see. How many are left? Yes, 2. Yes. Okay. That wasn't so bad. This is what was in my lap. There's a bunch on the floor, but I'll pick those up later. There are a lot of gems in our flat back pearls, crystals, guys. So if you, I mean, I've had these since they've come out, and I've only replaced the crystal one, and I really haven't even opened the new one. I was just afraid of running out. So I think I added some to an order once because I use the crystal ones the most. But all right. Sorry for that pause in the action. Okay. Oop. 2 more, 3 more. That's the one thing about using a black glass mat is that these are black, so they stick to it. Yep, there's 1 more there. All right, we'll just put him off to the side. Okay. So I already got him stamped out and colored. These are some of the images that I die cut, or I cut during my class on Sunday, and then I colored them tonight quickly. And then I wanted to grab the Mermaid Friends paper pad. I know it was not glitter. And to be honest with you, Francie, or embossing powder, because I have this fan, I have a fan right here. I have a teeny tiny little fan. See? And it would blow everything, even my upper head fan. Now that I moved my desk over, I rearranged my craft room, for those of you who didn't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. And I moved my desk all the way up against the wall. So I have a ton of space. I actually could have a little dance party in here with a couple people, 2 people maybe. And I could probably set up a table and have at least 2, if not 3 people craft with me. I'm just going to go through, and we're just kind of looking through this is the Mermaid Friends. I haven't looked through this a couple of days, so I wanted to see what was the pattern papers in here. Okay, I was looking to see, I didn't know if there was any crabs in here. I'm not seeing that, which is fine. I'm okay with that. Now, what I'm going to do is I don't want to use that flamingo. We're going to grab, I think, to be honest with you, I think we're going to grab this guy. I think he's cute and funny. So these are all the pattern papers. This was in the inspiration box. So try to get that light out of there. So there's fun papers there. And on the back, it tells me what colors. We got jack-o'-lantern, phone book, lagoon, flamingo, rouge, and aubergine. Well, I'm going to go a little rogue and grab some red because we have this fun crab and we're going to add some red to it. So I'm going to make a mini slim card. And this is Holly cardstock. And we're going to cut this down to 3 1/4. And then I have my little machine set up that this is 6 and this is about 6 1/4. I kind of measured over. I think it might be just a hair too much. And I put a little, oops, you can't even see that. Sorry. A little washi tape right here so that I know where about 6 1/4 is approximately. I mean, I also could be, this is 8 1/2 sheet of paper, so I could cut it. You know, how many, and was that? 2 3/4. I'm not doing math this tonight. I should figure that out sometime, but not tonight. I'm just going to cut that off. So here's our panel for our mini slim card. And then I'm just going to take this piece and we're going to cut it directly in half because it's 6 by 6. And that gives us our panel. And look at how perfect that is. And actually, I think the red helps, even though there's no red in it, it kind of, I mean, on camera, it almost looks orange, but it brings that little bit out. But we're going to have this little red crabby guy on here, so we need the red. So let us quick add this. So does anyone have any fun plans this weekend? Like I said, I'm going to do some berry picking tomorrow, and then I'm going to do the sunflower Soiree class and hopefully get some more samples done because I have not played enough with this mermaid stuff. I was gone for a few days and I've been so busy at work. This paper is adorable, Francie, and I want to play with it some more. So I want it to shine more. So I don't like to, I don't want to necessarily cover it up. And I really kind of want to figure out a couple ways to use it in some craft, in a scrapbook or something. So I may have to dig through my scrapbooks and see what I have. All right, so we've got, this is a clause for celebration. We've got our little crab. And you know what's funny is I actually have this, I don't have any clue what this is from, but I have this little gift box that would be fun to, you know, cut in and put him in here with a pile with a, but I don't like the fact that it's red. So we may do something different with that. All right. So what I like to do is I like to ground everything a little bit just so it kind of pops off. So I am going to grab my red cardstock here and some circle dies. Good thing I picked up those gems because I just stood up, right? There was one left on my lap. Let's grab some circle dies. If I can find them. Here, nope, oval. Oh, here they are. Okay, we're gonna do a little die cutting here. Well, the gems aren't too bad on the floor. Got my little mini die cutter here. And what I'm gonna do is, so I've got my Brutus Monroe ones and I've got my Hero Arts Infinity dies. I keep them together because some of them kind of work together if I want to do multiple layers. I'm just gonna go ahead and what I like to do is grab my circle and just kind of, and I think that's perfect. And it's perfect. So we're gonna do 3 circles out of this red paper, but I'm gonna do 2 with this and 1 with this so that I have 3 different sizes. Let's see, can I get them all in on? Nope. But I'll show you what I think I'm gonna do. I am gonna die cut this out like this. I gotta remember that I moved my camera a little closer. Let's see, close your eyes for a second if you get seasick. Just gonna move you a little bit this way. See if that's, so I remember to stay on camera a little bit. I tried to go a little closer tonight just because I thought, sometimes I feel like my camera is so far away from my desk. So I cut this out, but I have that little hole right there because I think, you know, you can also do something kind of like this. I think this one will be fun just to kind of do somewhere. I don't know where yet, but I'm just going to use it on the edge. And then I've got this one that'll fit right under our little crabby guy. And then your little town does fireworks the week before. So they have fireworks tonight. Oh, how fun. That's kind of how around here, it's interesting that we have a little town just north of here. About 10 minutes up the road is part of my school district. And they do the 4th of July every single year. Like it's like nobody else really does the 4th of July. Now, I'm not saying there's not going to be fireworks on the 4th of July itself, because I live on the river and we have a lot of people who, they have cabins out on the island. We have an island with lots of summer homes, about up that way, about a mile. And so some people will do fireworks and stuff like that. But the town up above, the 10 miles away, always does the 4th of July celebration. It's kind of their thing. Played at like 10 o'clock in the morning, and then there's stuff all day, and then they have fireworks in the evening. I won't go up for that because I don't want to drive. And then my town either always has them the Saturday after. So they'll be Saturday. It'll be the parade will be straight across behind me. I'll be able to look out the window behind me and just watch the parade. So I won't even have to go outside. And then the fireworks are way on the other end of town now. And I might be able to see them if I go sit up by the river, but my dog doesn't like them. So I'll probably watch them on TV. Now, what I wanted to say though is I believe, unless I hear otherwise, I am planning on going live on Friday night. If that's okay with you guys. I will post if something comes up. And I can always do them on like Saturday, live on Saturday, but because my town doesn't have anything that day, and I know not everyone goes out and celebrates, so I thought I would still do a quick live and have some fun. Next month, we're going to have a little Christmas in July, couple of days. So that'll be fun. And I just figured I might just do my live anyway because we have CYOE in there and I won't be live on that Friday night. So I didn't want to miss two weeks in a row. But I'm tentatively planning on going live on the 4th of July. So, oh, hi, Missy. So our capital in Jefferson City is on the Mississippi River, and they do the fourth big stuff of the weekend and have the big fireworks show on the river. We used to have ours on the river, but they moved it last year to the football field, and I mean they shoot them off by the football field, so that's where it is too. There's a huge fireworks display 2 blocks over from me, so we may sit in your front yard and watch. That's what we used to do last year, Misty. We were able to sit. We used to be able to sit in my driveway and watch them because they were shot out to the river across the like literally up a block and a half from me. And then last year, like I said, they moved them to the football field, which was fine with me. But I just cut that little bit off because I want to have more than one of these have like a little bubble, and I'm just going to use that to kind of, and then this one we'll put in a little bit here just to pop it off a little bit. But Fletch did not like them. He was outside for a little bit and then he started barking, so I took him inside, and it was unfortunately last year wasn't as bad because they moved him to the football field, but the first year was bad because since they were across the street, and I took him inside, he could see them booming through the kitchen window, and then boom, and then they'd flash out the other door out to the right, and it was not a good thing. So yeah, very loud. So I am going to take a tradition of my mom, and I might watch the Boston Pops. That's what my mom always did, because my town I grew up in never had fireworks for the 4th of July because our celebration was always in August. But I'm thinking what I'm probably going to do is we're going to do some 4th of July cards. Oh, yeah. Francie, I can understand that. So my senior year of high school, I was thinking about being a doctor when I was in high school. And just gluing these guys down, guys. And so this is one where I guess I could add we could add this little present here if I wanted to, but so I flew into Washington, D.C. on July 4th. I have my daughter. I'm sorry, I missed that. I have my daughter and son's girlfriend coming to my house on the 4th, and we will all be scrapbooking and teach them a few things. All right. And we will watch your live if you do not. I mean, yes, okay, if you do it. I'm planning on it. It's my normal time at 7:00, Misty, because I'm not going to be going anywhere to watch anything. So, and the Boston Pops will be on after that. So, but I flew into on the 4th of July, and so we got to sit at the University of Maryland and watch the fireworks. And in one direction, we could see the Washington, D.C. fireworks, and in one direction, we could see the Baltimore fireworks. And then, of course, it was just, I think there were some obviously ones not too far. So we had like 3 different fireworks. We sat on the quad and watched it. It was a beautiful night. It wasn't super hot. And, I was 18, and so the other girls in my little dorm area, it was so fun. And I think there was music playing, so we were able to put the music on and listen to it. And so I'm like, I got to experience the Washington, D.C. fireworks. That was in 1994. So, okay. So that is our little mini slim card. I'm going to grab a card base. This is a slimline card base, but I wanted to show you, see now that I can put this on here. And I'm going to show you. So this is a way. Thanks, Francie. It was really cool. Yeah, and I don't know if I'll get PBS, so I might have to watch that too. I just think that's fun. If you wanted to use cards like this is a good way, like I said, to use. I cut this in half. This is ours, and I matted it. And look, you could put this on a slimline card. And look, you could stamp your sentiment down here, or you could cut another little piece of something. You could put it there. You could cut it in half, which is what I did last week, and I put something between it. But you could totally, add another piece of paper down here that coordinated, and you could have a full card base. We're not in town, but in the country, and they'll set fireworks around the lake. And if we clear, we can see them. Well, that's pretty cool too. Because I live on the river, if you go up on the hill, like I said, I live in the Mississippi River Valley. So you have to come down a hill and go up a hill to come in and out of my town. If you go up on the hill on some 4th of July's, you can watch up and down the river and see fireworks. My dad one year counted 14 different locations he could see fireworks from. But you can't hear them, so I don't think that's quite as fun when they're super far away like that. I like them when they're a little closer so you can actually see them. All right, I'm going to cut this down. I'm just using a card base like this. Oh, Susan, I don't know about that. I just kind of forget to mention it sometimes. I just put it on my card base, and here, I'll move this up so you can see. And I'm just going to eyeball it, and I'm just going to go, and I'm just going to, and when it's 2 pieces of paper, I just kind of tap it like this, and then it cuts it off. And so then I have a mini slimline card. And look at how fun that is. That white border with that red just pops with my images. Now, we got to add a little bling to this one too. And then I have this little piece. This could be like a mini card. See, this is a little wet yet, so it's not. So in here, this is, sorry, I'm reaching in front of the camera, guys. So this would be my slimline card. So let's quick add that to it. And I am a big fan of them because I think there's 2 things about slimline cards that I think are fun. If you're going to make a scene card, you have so much more real estate to work with. And if you're not going to make a slimline card, you know, you can go mini slim, but if you want, you have a lot of white space. And I feel like we need to embrace more white spaces on our cards. It just gives that little bit of extra something that kind of sets it apart from a machine card. Oh, what kind of berries? They're blackberries, wild blackberries. That's what I'm going to go picking tomorrow. So, my honey was mowing, and he said that there's nice big fat ones in a couple spots. So I always take the dog out there, out to the woods, I guess I should say, the country, and let him run on Saturday mornings until he's tired. And we go early in the morning. So I'm going to go up the hill and let him run through the fields, chase some deer, which he's not supposed to do, but he will, and pick berries. So, and then come home and wash them and have them with some ice cream later. So I grabbed some of our topaz flat back pearls, and actually, I don't know if I want the topaz. What do we got? We're going to use the red shift because I feel like our crab needs red gems. So we're going to use the red shift gems. Okay. So I like to pour them in my lid. I've said this on other videos, and then I just shake them. And by shaking them, they almost always, uh-oh, I froze a little bit. Oh, there we go. Wait a minute. I always shake them a little bit, and then usually most of them flip so that they're upright. I mean, they're not all that way, but most of them are. So we're going to add a little bit of, I didn't color my gems on my crown on purpose because it didn't really matter, because I was going to put these gems on there. There's 3 of them, which is odd numbers. All right, Francie, you got your goggles on? I'm coming at you. All right, here I come. Pick up one of those. So you could do different colors. Like I could do the topaz ones on the side, but I'm going to add the red ones. I want rubies on my crown. There we go. And this is a clause for celebration. Now, a couple other things you could do to celebrate with this. You could add balloon. You could add some balloons. You could add a present. You could add more sparkle, of course. I'm just going to add that little bit. I just think this is kind of fun. I may end up coming and finding a present, putting a little present in here, but I don't know. It's not a present type of celebration. So I might see what else I have that I can put in this little square right here. But otherwise, it's just fine like this too. So here we go. I'm going to show you. Look at those. The red shift are favorite. I like the crystal. And then I like the hematite. And then it's probably the red shift. Just because I like that they shift a little bit and they're different colors. But that is our cards for tonight. Does anyone have any questions about this release? I mean, it's on the end of the month, so we're going to be switching over here a little bit not too far, but thought I'd see if you guys had any comments or any questions about the release since we have a few extra minutes. Oh, I should show you what I was making before the live. It's not dry yet. Our friend Sarah is doing something similar, but I grabbed the So Jelly stencil, and last night I had to use this is the Sunshine. Oh, I don't even know what the name of it's called. Let's see. Sunbeam Sorbet Chroma Glaze, Cosmo Glaze. And then this is the Chroma Mattes in the yellow. Yeah, they are. That is cute. And she had her glasses on. I couldn't see that quite yet. Now I see it. And then this is the purple one, which is called Seashell Whisper. And that's still wet. And then this is the Cupcake Frosting Lavender Chroma Matte. So it's still wet. I'm excited to have fun. I think those are your big stick goggles. That makes sense. I'm gonna grab and I'm gonna put in some. I'm gonna put a few tentacles over here, and then I'm gonna put a few tentacles, or I might put another head right here going this way, but with a couple other colors. But I thought I'd show you. See, here is the Chroma Glaze. Have you guys seen the Cosmo Glazes dry? I have them all swatched out. But I think this is going to be fun. And of course, I didn't get it perfect. I didn't use any pixie spray, so I have a little bit of, you know, over glazing. But that's just a room for embellishment. But I feel like they're jellyfishes. They're just for fun. I'm gonna throw that over here on my container. Let that keep drying. Let me grab my Chroma glazes. So here are all of the Cosmo glazes. If you have not seen them swatched out, aren't they pretty? I love them. And of course, here's the quartz and the Bahama Blue sand pastes, which they're rough, so they feel like sand. And then, did I have the embossing powders of the month too. I do have, this is just a not really expensive paper. I do too, Francie. I think that's kind of fun. It's a kind of more distressed look, and I can splatter too, and that'll help. Here are the shimmer mists for this month: the Flamingo Fizz, the Cabana Berry, the Mango Sunrise, the Seafoam Chill, and the Ocean Petal, and they all have like a shimmer in them, which is not going to catch on camera. And then I've got the embossing powders. Here is the Bermuda Blue, which is almost gone. This is an extra one for this month. But the embossing powder of the month is this Mermaid Tail, which I haven't used, so I want to use that tomorrow. And then I see sitting right here, I have the Sunflower Soiree Glitter Glaze, which is available separately. Kind of that put out too. So these swatch pieces are available for free on our digital section. And then I also started getting the swatch books. And then I have the Swatch and Go stencil that I've been using to put down and put my circles so that I can have a little bit more, because I started just kind of swatching them out, which works. But what I like about this is that I can go ahead and I can cover it like this when I spray. And when I spray, it will stay all in that little section instead of overspraying. So, all right, you guys. Well, if there's not any questions, I am going to head off for the evening. I'm going to go finish watching the basketball game after I pick up all these gems. So I hope you guys have a great evening and a great weekend. And I will see you Friday next week. It'll be July. I can't believe it. So new release on Tuesday. It's going to be so exciting. So I will talk to you rest of your night and stay cool.